The word discipline has had a bad rap over the years.
The negative connotations associated with the word really depend on your upbringing, but they can range anywhere from corporal punishment, religious expectations, perhaps even strict personal rules. The list kind of goes on.
However, the Latin origin means instruction and training.
Now, when I consider the word in its root form, well, it has a very different effect on me. The idea that discipline is a choice, not an expectation connected to some kind of pain, makes using the term a lot more approachable, at least for me.
You see, athletes become world-class from putting in the training, and academics get to the top through dedicated time studying.
This is all fair and inspiring, but sometimes actioning the hard work needed to succeed is too far a stretch for me if I don't have the motivation to do so.
So I've come up with 7 things that help me stick to my personal and professional goals.
I find them helpful, especially when I'm not up for making the choice to enforce them. I hope they will be as valuable to you as they have been for me.
Accountability. The 2 areas in which I enforce accountability are work and exercise.
I work for myself, so if I'm not careful, I can procrastinate and end up taking the long road to achieving my goals.
I have a friend who also incorporates YouTube into his business, and we meet virtually about once a month for check-ins.
Perhaps I'm a really proud person because I would rather not take the call than pitch up, not having committed to what I said I would have completed.
I also enroll in creator camps where there are live training sessions to ensure that I create dedicated time, which I cannot flake out on, to make sure that I have space in which I focus on perfecting my skill as a creative in the creator economy.
If you're a creative and you're interested in participating in the Adobe Creator Camp, then I will leave a link in the description to the video that I made documenting my experience.
With exercise, I have a virtual training buddy, my mom, who is actually visiting me at the moment, but usually we hold each other accountable virtually in completing our home workouts.
In the summer and when the weather's not very awful, I'm decently committed to a running group. And my husband and I also have a running date once a week. What I've realized is that I have a combination of both individual and group activities holding me accountable.
I also pick people who I know are dedicated to solving the same problem or completing the same activity or project as I am, and who rely on me to pitch up consistently as much as I rely on them.
This is helpful because I've tried to have friends hold me accountable in areas that are not pain points for them. And this has never really seen them follow through because it's not a pain point for them. So they have no incentive apart from letting me down to continue participating, which is totally fair.
No distraction space.
This is specific to my working arrangement.
I have given myself the treat of working in a co-working office space 10 times per month. Having a space that is, from my perspective, dedicated to work and work alone has improved my productivity exponentially. The change in environments, the lighting, and the cleanliness of individual offices help me focus and zone in on tasks far more intensely than I would at home when there is often so much competing for my attention. I find that looking forward to coming to my co-working office energizes me and adds an element of freshness to what I do.
This is probably all placebo, but it does work for me. Try to find a space that energizes you and try to keep it novel. Visiting the same restaurant or working from the same place after a long time can sort of lose its appeal. So give yourself permission to change your environment and keep things interesting. And allow yourself to get excited about going to work.
Meal prep.
There was a time you couldn't get me out of the kitchen.
Well, now I'm going through a phase where I can't be in it. I wasted time and money buying pre-made meals, which were never on point, and I kind of missed my own cooking. So what I find works for me now is to take maybe 3 to 4 hours on a Sunday and prepare meals for the week and place them beautifully in the refrigerator at home. So I have food when I'm working from home, but I also have on-the-run meals.
I cannot tell you how much joy it brings me to have exactly what I'm looking for when I want it.
Oh, and I've also invested in a bread machine that mixes my pizza dough, so I still get to enjoy my homemade pizza without it taking up so much time to knead the dough. This has impacted my overall mood wonderfully. I break from work and get back to work seamlessly. Progress. I'll speak to both work and exercise here again. When I was younger, I had goals like get abs, make a movie, write a novel, learn to speak Italian. Now, I have somewhat shifted to enjoy progress as opposed to a destination. I don't have rock hard abs, but I can do a few proper push-ups, which is very exciting for me. I'm also progressing towards doing a pull-up, which is a bunch of fun in its own. I haven't shot a Hollywood movie, but I've made a short film or two, and I'm working on filming my second documentary, which for my current skill level is perfect. I haven't written a novel, but I write an article that gets published here and there. And again, for my current skill level, this is a dream come true.
Finally, learning Italian. I am by no means fluent, but I did work on a farm for a month and I've learned how to have a basic conversation, which I'm really proud of.
Learning to work towards progress in certain areas has helped me enjoy the journey, as well as stay consistent as I work towards my goals.
This mindset has been truly empowering in all aspects of life.
Daily wins. I have a weekly checklist with habits that I've tried to implement daily.
The criteria for a tick is that I've at least spent 2 minutes on the habit. So as an idea of what I'm talking about, here are some of the habits that I try to enforce.
Reading or listening to a podcast daily, journaling, planning the next day, the night before, daily yoga.
If I've spent 2 minutes on the habit, then I get the satisfaction of ticking off the habit.
The reward of a simple tick in a checkbox is all I need to feel a win. And when it gets to the end of the week, seeing a page full of ticks is a dosage of affirmation that I am on the right track.
You may have different habits that require more time, but figure out what makes you feel like you've had a win.
And give yourself the space to celebrate by either checking a tick box or having a little victory dance. Make bad habits difficult. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, encourages the following points for breaking bad habits. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, make it unsatisfying.
People often ask me how I am so disciplined, but as you know, I'm only starting to now appreciate the true meaning of the word, and I definitely don't have any magical powers. I just put good systems in place to help me make better decisions.
I've made the choice for the time being to delete social media.
Except YouTube.
I've also deleted WhatsApp. This decision alone has given me an extra 2 to 4 hours a day. The admin involved with downloading these apps is both unattractive and unsatisfying.
Having the apps invisible doesn't even make me feel like I'm missing out.
Also, we have structured our house so that our television is somewhat hidden behind our dining room table and our couches are on the opposite side of the house. If my husband and I want to watch TV, we have to move our house around. This has been incredibly helpful in making me prioritize what I would rather do, like read or listen to a podcast, as opposed to the rhythm of jumping on a couch and watching a series.
Again, these changes have helped me quit some bad habits, but depending on what you're trying to move away from, try and make the bad habits as difficult as possible to do.
Fun.
I try to incorporate an element of fun into everything I do, and this often means that I have to change things up to keep the vibe alive.
I try to create content that makes me feel alive. Or if I'm working on a project that feels a little dull, then I play punk rock from my childhood or listen to a light-hearted podcast while I do a task. With exercise, I change things up. I've been doing bodyweight exercises for the past year, which has been a lot of fun.
However, I do want to try ballet or contemporary dancing when the world heals. Oh, and CrossFit, that's also something I definitely want to try out. Ultimately, I give myself permission to change what I'm doing if it's getting a little bit dull.
Then, when I write down my goals or plans, I use fun colors and pretty notepads. I give myself what I need to get the task done in a way that gets me excited to start.
Fun is subjective, but this is ultimately what works for me. Outline what makes you smile, and you might even realize it's been so long since you've allowed yourself to think about what makes you happy that you may even struggle to write 10 things down. But give it a bash and try and incorporate those into areas and elements in your life where you need it the most. As much as I want to say I don't incorporate discipline into every area of my life, I just don't think that would be completely honest. I still need to practice self-mastery, and I often need to self-motivate at times. However, these tips have helped me create a life that I truly love without my actions feeling like obligations. I hope you have found helpful nuggets here and there that will help you with certain areas in your life that you may be lacking motivation in. So whether you're looking for an accountability buddy, group, a creator camp, it really does help finding people who have the same goal or who at least have the same desire to work towards solving a specific pain point that you might have. Also, if you're aiming to create a no distraction space or you want to give meal prep a go, it really helps having progress, not perfection, as your ultimate goal. And finally, make those bad habits difficult to action, but don't spend all of your time focusing on the bad. Set aside some space for fun and allow yourself to enjoy working towards achieving your goals. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and my treat, I will leave some videos for you in the end screen that if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll enjoy those as well. Consider subscribing to this channel if you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments which tip you enjoyed the most and whether you have any tips of your own that you'd like to share. I'd love to hear from you guys. All the best with working towards those daily wins, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.